evil of anti-Semitism must be eradicated from our society. I spoke to the Attorney General this morning. The Department of Justice will be prosecuting the perpetrator responsible for this to the fullest extent of the law. Hatred has no place in the United States of America under President Donald Trump.
You just heard the strong words from the White House this afternoon after a young Jewish couple was gunned down outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Northwest.
And leaders from all over the world and the DMV are reacting to the deaths of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. And we have team coverage this afternoon on the shooting. Our Rebecca Turco will have more on the community reaction to this tragedy. And our Jay Korf is digging deeper into who this young couple was. But first, Brad Bell is in D.C. Brad, you've been tracking the timeline of this all day. What have you learned now about what took place outside the museum?
Yeah, so look, we're going to learn a lot more in about 45 minutes. We're expecting a briefing from the FBI, the mayor, the chief of police, as well as the new U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, Jeanine Pirro. And they're going to talk about the charges they are pursuing. So look, this happened basically within eyesight of the FBI Washington field office. Police were on scene very, very quickly. The shooter in this case ostensibly giving himself up, confessing, telling the authorities where he left the gun, but right now they're working hard to try to build the case against him for prosecution. The shooting happening just after 9 p.m. last night as the couple left a gathering of young Jewish professionals at the Capitol Jewish Museum. People inside hearing two bursts of gunfire. Police then finding 30-year-old Yaron Lashinsky and 26-year-old Sarah Milgram shot and killed. After the murder, the alleged killer, identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez, walked into the museum and began yelling. He did it for Gaza and free Palestine, continuing even as he was put in handcuffs. The FBI and Department of Justice now leading the investigation. Top questions: was this a lone wolf or are others involved? Attorney General Pam Bondi speaking at the crime scene this morning.
The hate has got to stop, and it has to stop now. And this person will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, and that is the promise we're getting from the feds. Again, in just about 45 minutes, we expect to hear more about the progress made in the investigation and the charges that are planned. Also at 5, you're going to hear from someone. You saw that video of the guy being put in handcuffs and yelling. Well, also in frame, there is a person yelling back, "You did this for Hamas." Well, we're going to hear from that person. He says this meeting was actually about trying to figure out how they could get aid in to the people of Gaza. In Northwest, Brad Bell, 7 News.
And dozens of people gathered outside the museum this afternoon to pray and grieve together. 7 News reporter Rebecca Turco joins us live there. And Rebecca, that vigil was just steps away from where this horrific tragedy happened. What does it look like where you are?
People all throughout the day, they've been coming and going, and we want to show you just behind us, right where the vigil took place. There are messages of love and support and flowers left. People have been coming by here all throughout the day.
This is our world. Don't you want something better?
A rabbi from a Bethesda congregation led today's service, gathering together a group of people from across the region who felt drawn to come and pay their respects to the innocent couple who was killed. The crowd came together, prayed together, cried together. The rabbi wants to see an end to the radical extremism. He says dialing up that rhetoric about the ongoing war in Gaza leads to tragedies like this.
If people cannot begin to see that someone has to start thinking about the future and not just the pain of the present, if someone can't see that at the moment and like what it means for the fact that both Israelis and Palestinians are going to be in that place pretty much for centuries to come, if they can't start to see that, I don't understand what they're trying to do.
And some of the people who came to today's vigil tell me that they plan to go to another vigil tonight that's happening over at the White House. That one's set to start at 8. Reporting live in Northwest, Rebecca Turco, 7 News.
Rebecca, thank you. And last night's event brought together peace builders working to solve a variety of humanitarian crises in the Middle East. When that young couple, also colleagues at the Israeli embassy, was gunned down. Our Jay Korf has been talking with people who knew and loved the couple. He joins us now live from outside the embassy for more on their professional and personal lives. Jay.
Yeah, that's right. Friends tell me that Sarah and Yaron were actually heading to Israel soon after that event last night, and it's our understanding that Yaron had a ring and he planned on asking Sarah to marry him. But that trip in their lives cut short by violence. I spoke today via Zoom with Joshua Maxey. He is the executive director of the LGBT Jewish synagogue here in Washington, D.C., and he told me that he had a wonderful professional relationship with Sarah that blossomed into a friendship, and that he is, of course, shattered by these murders. He says both were passionate about their work, which included fostering religious unity throughout the Middle East. A horrible, horrible irony in this tragedy. He also says that they were very much in love, and everyone who knew them would have been thrilled by their engagement.
It just saddens me that, and these two bright souls were taken away from us in this tragic manner, and certainly through violence, which goes against everything that they stood for.
Coming up on 7 News on Your Side at 5 p.m., we'll have more from Mr. Maxey, as well as a highly regarded scholar in Israel who taught Yaron at university. And lastly, the last telephone conversation that Josh had with Sarah last night around 5 o'clock on the telephone. We'll have that coming up at 5 o'clock as well. Reporting live outside the Israeli embassy, I'm Jay Korf for 7 News.